Okay, as I promised you that I would show you what I've done to my Flywing 450 size Huey, and this is the grey and white one. And I just wanted to put my personal touches to it, guys. And as you can see, I have a few strobe lights on it. In fact, they're, they're on the right side, so to speak. And yeah, I've just said, I just want to do something different with it. So it is a rescue craft for oil rigs. And the first thing I did, which you probably might have picked up in the other videos before I did this video, is that I painted these yellow. Just thought they would stand out better. And then I just marked these kind of fence here with the permanent marker, just to let them stand out a bit because they were grey and you couldn't really see them. Here we have a fuel tank, a jerry can, just in case they need extra fuel. And of course, being a rescue helicopter, I have these two winches on the side. I got all these parts, by the way, off AliExpress. Excuse me. And I have another one on this side too. But the ones that really stand out for me has to be the mirrors, and they were the hardest things to do and to make up because I had to cut them to size, and I had to glue them on with super glue. And it was very, very hard to do. The mirrors, again, they were simple enough to make, but they were very hard to stick on. They actually work, believe it or not. It's just crazy. There's the mirrors there. There you go. And on the other side, I have a jerry can as well, just to balance everything out, Yes, just loving it, Of course, you get the bits up here with the model. You get the wire cutters. You have to glue these on, and you get this piece at the back here. I take it that's some type of radio control antenna. You get these grey pieces at the back. They were a nightmare to put on as well. And then I got this piece at the back here, this piece here. They could have done a better job. They couldn't have given us maybe a small steel one painted white and red. Might do something with that. But there you go. That's what I've been doing over the last few weeks. And I did a test flight there to see whether or not this heli would put up with the extra weight. And yeah, she's okay. She's fine. There's a little tiny bit of tiny little bit of nose bob, but that's only when she's coming to a stop. But I think she does that anyway. And to give you an idea on how big this heli is, what I've done is I've put a bar or a what do you call it, pen next to the helicopter. That's how big she is. She is one big heli. I have to say the strobe lights on her really helps her to stand out. And of course it's red on the left one, left hand side, and a green on the right hand side. And then there's one down the end here, or should I say at the front of the aircraft, and that's white. They're the correct colours. But there you go. And I'm only delighted that these winches worked out. And you can get them, like I said, on AliExpress, and you can get the mirrors on AliExpress as well. like I said, I had to use with these guys the mirrors. I had to use hot glue and super glue. It was just absolute nightmare to try and get them to stick to the model. These were put on with super glue. Again, you have to be very careful. Uh, a little tip: if you get any heat reaction to the plastic windows, what you do is you get a little bit of WD-40 on a piece of tissue paper and just wipe them, and that will get rid of your foggy windows from the heat or from the glue. I hope I'm making sense. Yeah, I just love her, you know. It's a boy's dream come true, and I said I'm going to have to do something with this heli. Now, I was meant to get two large fence, one here and one the opposite side, and they got lost in the post, so I might try and get them again. I don't know. They just disappeared. I think they got to Ireland and then just disappeared. So it's just bucking a bit about that. But, you know, like, it's a quick reaction force rescue helicopter for the oil rigs. And that's why I put the winches on. And I have them stuck on with double-sided tape at the present moment, but I think I'm going to have to do a slightly better job than that. Because I don't think they're going to stay on. You know, rather that it would be, you know, done a little bit more secure, so to speak. Yeah, I just love the heli. And my next video will be when you have problems with the GPS. In other words, you can't get the GPS to work. And I have a few tips, you know, to actually show you what I did in regards to that. And it's free. I see that some people are putting a fee up. In other words, you have to join their channel before you get the information. And in some cases, they're charging $60 just to get the information. And I think, you know, really at the end of the day, it's all about helping each other and sharing, you know. That's what it's all about, really. And if I can help anyone, I will. You know, like, I don't know it all, guys, but, you know, you learn fairly quick. I can tell you that. You know, you learn very, very quick. Yeah, there you go. And just have one more shot of her there. She looks mean, doesn't she? And yeah, she flies okay. She flies fine. Like I said, there's a little, you know, when she comes to a full stop, she just bobs slightly. So there you go. There you go. Huh? Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. So the next video I will have is problems with the GPS. In other words, you can't get a signal. And I have 2 tips on that to give to you totally free. Okay, to help you guys out. Okay. Please support the channel. It's a unmonetized channel. You know, I'm not here to make money out of it. But just to see the subscriptions going up is nice, and it means I'm not wasting my time, you know. Okay, God bless to you and your family. Bye-bye from now. Bye-bye.